Okay, why don't you tell us the story of the name El Pinto?
Okay, the name El Pinto, how did that come about? Well, it was one of these fine, beautiful afternoons, or not afternoons, evenings out here in New Mexico at this spot, exactly this spot, which my mom and dad bought this property back in 1960 with the intention of building a restaurant. And it's way out here in the North Valley, middle of nowhere, but it's very peaceful. Just sitting out having a margarita on the porch at the house that we grew up on right behind us, behind the restaurant here. And my dad turned to my mom. My mom's first language is Spanish. My dad turned to my mom and said, "You know, this is the spot." He said, "This is beautiful. It's the spot." I said, "How would you say that in Spanish?" My mom, being first language Spanish, said, "Well, you try to say that by saying El Pinto. El Pinto, the spot." So that's how they came up with El Pinto, the spot. And more and more as I think about it, there's more significance to that name than I really realized. Never realized that in the spot. You know, this economy is tough right now, but we're doing very strong. We're very strong right now, and we're just going to stay kind of here at this one location, one spot for a little bit longer. But we are going to branch out eventually. We'll probably have Pinto restaurants, not large restaurants, probably more like kiosk type, maybe something like a payway size or something like that. And then with the foods, we plan on just continue growing our brand. We're eventually going to have frozen food available for customers here locally in New Mexico, starting with our chili sauces, our chili con queso, which is just world famous, and then eventually get into the chili con carne, the meats and stuff like that. And with that, we'll be able to go ahead and enter into the fast food. Even though our food isn't fast food, we could enter into the fast food realm and serving the kind of quality of food that we have. I think it's going to be a unique thing. So that's probably where we're looking at in the future here.
Everywhere in Mexico, there are different pockets of people that grow great chilies. Some of the organic chilies that we have used here come from that middle region in the Hatch Valley. Pinto Interviews is one of our growers down there. And that's what we really designate as our organic area. So there are specific areas in Mexico, depending on the climate and the conditions in the area, that the chilies are uniquely different. And then by variety, we know that the hotter chilies grow in a drier climate. When you stress a chili out, you tend to get the most intense heat out of the chilies. It's not just about the heat. We love the heritage chili, the new Heritage 6.4, which was part of the original Anaheim seed that was planted. The archive seeds have just come out in the last 2 years. I believe Beat Farms in southern New Mexico was the first to plant them. Our last year's batch of chilies that we used in our jars, for most of the 2 million jars that we produced last year, was produced from that chili, that heritage, that heritage New Mex, which had the original profile of the original Anaheim seed. So Mexico is wonderfully adapted to growing great chilies. And now we're a signature throughout the United States. We are a mecca, if you will, for people that want good chili, great chili. But we're really known mostly for the Anaheim variety in the chilies. So